This is Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And of course, we're right back into Gary Grigsby's War in the East today. I left you with a cliffhanger last time. Was it Colonel Mustard in the library with a candlestick? Wrong game. What are we going to do with our panzers is the proper question. We have got second panzer group here has orchestrated through the deftness of your fearless leader a breakthrough right north of Smolensk, and we have put these Soviets in the greatest of peril here. We have now cut their rail line straight from Moscow. Now they do, I guess they have a rail line that kind of goes up and around here, but we are now behind them with Second Panzer. We're talking a pocket of 500,000 men, probably more if you go and count the divisions. As I always say, I'm not a mathematician, but it looks like a lot to me. There are a lot of Soviet units that are potentially in this pocket. And with 3rd Panzer, we've now crossed over north of Veliki Luki, my favorite name to say in the game. We are across the river here, and they can start to move and link up here. So the Soviets probably have no other option other than to try to get out of this pocket. We keep forcing them to do that, and as they retreat every time, we've been able to take Minsk, Vitebsk, soon Smolensk without firing a shot. And that's what you ultimately want. Use these motorized divisions that you have as the Germans. They're just far superior to anything that's on the battlefield at this point. Use them as light cavalry. Use all those movement points. But I sat here, I've looked at the map a bunch of times, thinking, okay, now what? That's always the question. Hey, good job. Pat yourself on the back. We're where we want to be, but now what? And we have a bit of fool's gold that we can see shimmering in the distance, and that is, it's starting to look like we've got a pretty straight shot out here to Moscow. However, that really, really would outrun our supply, and that is the very number one risk that you run as the Axis, specifically the Germans, is outrunning your supply. Now, of course, what a problem to have in warfare. Well, we're rolling up so many units and moving so fast that we literally can't get supply out to them, or I say supply, I mean fuel, the big general supply fuel out to these units. It's a good problem to have because it's better than the alternative, which is we haven't moved enough, but man, we're all fueled up. You know what I'm saying? So we're in good shape. We can't get ahead of ourselves. I've got this Panzer division here that would still have 20 movement points and be moving straight down this rail line to Moscow. And it doesn't look like the Soviets yet have been able to set up their defenses in front of Moscow. So it's very tempting, to get out and run that way. But I think we've got to kind of resist that temptation, even though man, it looks wide open here. Now, we will start to run into a lot of resistance, but what I plan to do is we'll see exactly how it plays out, but we'll probably try to encircle Moscow from the north and wrap around and bring these infantry units from the 4th Army up here to kind of lock it down from the south, cut all of these rail lines into Moscow, which brings all of the Soviet new armaments. A lot of their fuel, their supply is running up these rail lines from the south. And so, if we can have infantry just planted here on these rail lines, well, as they say, with best laid plans, we'll see. Hey, Jasik, how's it going? Now, Jasik, I apologize. I know you had some questions, and that was a couple of episodes ago, and I didn't get to them right at the end of the episode. And then things started to happen so fast last time that I don't think I answered your questions. So if you want to retype those, put those in there. Uh, I'll do my best to answer what you got. So I do apologize for that. Uh, let's see. Okay, so as we left last time, we formed this kind of northern part of the corridor. I say northern, and I'm saying that in relation to our Panzer group. Okay, so we formed this kind of northern corridor with the Ninth Army, and this all just looks fantastic. Soviet units for this point in the game. That being said, they're going to have a very, very difficult time taking on a full German infantry division on their own. And they don't have a lot of backup here to then, continue with that kind of little mini breakthrough. They may be able to drive us back a hex. That's very possible that they just get decent enough odds. It does drive us back a hex. That being said, I'm not that worried that we're going to see that kind of mini breakthrough where they can link up troops here and here. But that being said, we will need to bring fourth up here to kind of backstop this just in case it happens. And to also not allow these units out of Smolensk, who are now in grave danger as well, and will be even more so once we start pushing through here with infantry, to not allow them to come here and kind of squeeze us. We don't want to get down to the situation where we've got one hex north and south where we're trying to get fuel up to our motorized divisions. And so that it represents a real quandary what to do with this Panzer Division unit. Again, I would love to run this thing. But I think prudence, and it's not a word I want to be identified with. I'm a cautious general, to say the least. Um, oh, hold on. Did the stream just start over? What just happened? You guys tell me. Did the stream just pop really fast? Hey, Arthur. I barely speak English, Arthur. Oh, here's your question. Oh, sorry, Rockasar. Okay, all right. Well, hopefully that does not happen again. Well, if you missed anything, all I'm saying is we are trying to move 4th Panzer, or 4th Panzer, 2nd Panzer through this hole here. But how far? How far? We don't want to get out over our skis, as they say, um, and get out here too far, get too extended. The Germans did that historically a little bit with this big bulge that you get in the center. So we're gonna shift Fourth Army north and try to hold this line that we have with Ninth Army, and also keep these units from Smolensk from attacking up into this gap. And so we've got to shift north. JASIC, okay, sure. In the battle report, just after the unit's name, there's a number in brackets. What does it mean? Sometimes it's zero, sometimes it's another number. Can you explain that? Well, I hope so. I think I know the number you're talking about. And you know what? I've often looked at that number and I'm not sure I know exactly what it means. So I know there's on the map information. Can't we go to the battles? Well, that would be from last turn, though. I know there's a battle report. Hold on. Where is that sucker? Do, 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 do. Info. It's not there. Victory locations, weather. Oh, there it is. Duh. Um, Battle report. Okay, let's go to a battle report. This number right here is what you're talking about, is it not? Um, hmm. JASIC, I may have to get back to you on that unless someone else has that answer. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Uh, hmm. Sometimes I play this game on autopilot and I kind of have forgotten. Not sure what exactly that's telling us. Um, oh, I do know what it is. Okay. This, if you look down at the combat value, so this is the the raw combat value right here, 147. That's what that is. This is telling you what makes up that 147. So you can get an idea of how much your support units are adding, let's say. So light flak gave us 7. Now this is the modified combat value, so that's after it goes through all the rolls and whatever the witch's brew that gets thrown in the pot that makes your modified combat value or kind of like your ultimate combat value. That's this number. This number is your raw combat value. And so these numbers after it tell you that. You can see it on the Soviet side here too, in parens 14. And you look down here to combat value 14. That's what that is. Oh, good. I'm glad I figured that out. I I haven't looked at that in some time. Sometimes I guess maybe I would check that for the support units, but obviously haven't done it for a long time because it wasn't right on the top of my head. But yeah, that's the raw combat value that each unit you see here is adding to the battle. All right. All right. Um, Arthur, you're coming in with some great tactical knowledge here. What, and hold that line in your vector. I just like to hear you say, and hold that line as your vector to push the panzers north. I would think that you would want to clear all Soviets between the Dvina and the Dnieper. Probably. I think that's probably true. I think I know exactly what you're saying. Arthur, let's get down here. Let's get these battle reports off. Whoa, can I get them off? Where are they? Hold on. Move. Move. I can't move this thing. Exit. How about that? Let's get the battle reports off there. That's a good button that I hardly ever use, but probably should from time to time to go back and look at these things. Um, just for questions like that. It really does give you a good sense of what your support units are adding to the battle. Now that was the one we looked at. It showed us a division which was 140, and then it showed us that was an AA unit, anti-aircraft unit, and it was only 7. I think artillery generally is going to add like 20 or 30 to your combat value, but we'll go check that out. Or I'll pause the next battle we get in and just see what like all the component parts are adding to the battle. Um, Davina, Dnieper, right. This is, if you ever play a Barbarossa game, you've got to drive right through here because attacking across rivers is kind of a bad game to be playing. So you want to push your panzers straight through here. Yeah, I need to clear this out and I need to clear this guy out. I plan to do that with the Fourth Army when we get down here. At least these two, clear them back off the river. Smolensk, I'm going to bypass. I'm not going to attack into that urban area because I think I'm going to have them surrounded. Maybe not this turn. I don't think we can go that far with infantry, but certainly by next turn, I should have them completely surrounded. And rather than take on a 61, kind of combat that it's showing us defensive value, rather than taking that on, which would probably take 3, 4, 5 infantry divisions to do an all-out assault on Smolensk, probably lose, I don't, thousands of troops. Rather than do that, I'm just going to bypass them. And so, I know what you're saying. That is the risk, right? And also, these two units are a risk. But again, I don't really want to attack them head on with just an infantry unit. Now, I could load this up with a crud. Oh, let's shift Z so we can see the lines. There we go. I could load this up with a bunch of Panzer Jaegers and put some more in here, and then I'll have a bunch of, and I do have one. I thought I had more than that. Yeah, I do. So I can put like all 3 of these battalions in there, and have a lot of anti-tank and maybe take them on. It's certainly not a bad idea. They are the risk. This breaking through here is a risk. There's no doubt about that. I was also thinking about maybe taking this Panzer unit and just putting it here to hold the line, maybe here. Actually, maybe I will move it right there, and that solves a couple of problems. Now, I did want to, well, I say that. I do want them kind of to be here too. Now, one thing you'll notice that I was going to point out when I was looking at the map earlier, you'll see our headquarters is showing like a reddish here. Um, we are out of command, I think, with Guderian, at least when it comes to movement points. So we're going to have to move him up, which then gets this unit a little out. Now, if I did have one thing to do differently of this whole Army Group Center front, I would probably not have sent this Panzer Corps south. Now that may end up being good because I think we can push through here and just scatter their entire air force to the wind out here. But it looks like we could have done that with infantry anyway. Now you could make the argument that us moving the panzers down here caused them to react down here, and then they had a lot less defense here. I think that's probably a valid argument. So, it could kind of go both ways. But in some respects, I wish I had this whole Panzer Corps also up here because now they're getting a little out of command. These are two, this core and these cores up here are getting a little too far apart for my liking. We're going to start driving them north. Um, it does present the Soviets with a lot of problems, though. If we can drive through all of these units this time and get up here, now all of a sudden we've got panzers coming from here, from here, from here. We've kind of got a three-pronged attack. It's going to be very hard for them to defend against all of that. Um, Oh, I know. It's like woulda, coulda, should. There's arguments on both sides of that, right? Um, but yes, Arthur, I guess that was, I guess that was a little longer answer than I had planned. The answer is basically, I think your instincts are correct, sir. That we need to clear out what we can as far as directly attacking armor like this with our infantry. I'm not sure about that one. Now, this armor here is only a 4 defense. That seems a little more tenable, right? Um, all right. Before I move these last two Panzer divisions and the headquarters, which we also need to get up here quite a ways, I'm actually going to go ahead and move that up a little ways anyway for now. Now he's in command, although he's a long way from supply. 45 movement points. I mean, he's not going to be getting very much fuel as things currently stand. But before I do that, I think what I'm going to do is shift some of this north. And it's just a matter of how many units we put up here to the north. Now, if I do plan on moving this to kind of backstop these two units, then I think we need to put the one unit here, right? Because I like to keep two in between. Let's put the one unit here. Now you may say, why are you bypassing all these? Well, I'm going to take these here and come up and deal with these guys, I think. And so I'll take, two cores of Fourth Army up here and the other two cores to push, here, kind of up this way. So they all sort of meet up in the middle, maybe up by Vyazma or so. Um, so here, is that where I said, or did I say here? Oh, right here. Okay, so let's go right there. All right. Now I'm tempted to just do a hasty attack here. We haven't moved the headquarters. Let's see what our support units look like in 4th Army this time. Okay, they look a little better. We've got a few more. I want to save most of this for down here a little farther to the south because I don't plan on doing a lot of attacking here. Um, this is a motorized unit. Let's hit it with a hasty attack and just see if we can drive it back across the river. I'm not sure that we can, but let's try. Well, look at that. Nice odds there. Um, that should, yeah, there we go. Okay, so we retreated that back across the river. I like that. Now then, let's bring him up here. Right there, right outside of Smolensk. Now, he's probably going to get attacked again because they have a lot of strength there. But I think this really, kind of holds this pocket a lot better. I think it also allows us to move this armor here to the north. Which place do we want to put it, though, is the question. Do we put it here? I am going to be moving this headquarters a little further, maybe. Can he go any further? No. Can they go any further? Not really. I say not really, which means no. No, they can't. Um, I may triple stack there. All right, he's here. I kind of like having him here. I don't, they can't get out to the north here, no matter whether I move him or not. Um, I'm really concerned about that hex right there. I think you can see why, right? This is the strongest unit the Soviets have by far in the theater, and we've got one lone division here. Can he get over there? He cannot. I was tempted to take him and bring him over here on the theory they can't really get out this way anyway. They can't go this way, but that's a little riskier. Hmm. 7 and 2. I could bring him here, him all the way. He can't get there either. No. All right. My hamster is running at full speed in my head right now. Um, hmm. Salty Dodger! Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, I have been really diving into War in the West during non-streaming hours. And I've got this dilemma, right? I started the channel for War in the Pacific originally. The plan always was I'd probably play some other games, but I just couldn't find a good tutorial for War in the Pacific, so I started the channel for that. And then I love War in the East. It's my second favorite game. And I said, okay, well, there are, good tutorials out there for War in the East, but it's been a while since there was a good one put out. There's been new patches, whatever. So I started doing that one. And now I'm like, I've got full campaigns going on with those two games. I'm like, do I start a full campaign with War in the West as well? I mean, Gary Grigsby is going to have to start sending me part of his royalties at some point. I don't want you guys to think he's my uncle or something. Um, oh, that'd be kind of cool, actually. Guy's probably worth a mint. Let's see. Yes. So I didn't really answer your question there, did I? I am going to start a War in the West campaign as well. We're going to play the full campaign in War in the West. I have not done that for quite some time, and so I'm trying to be a little less rusty and catching up, with everything. Just kind of, it's different enough from this game and War in the Pacific that it's not a completely different game, of course, but it does take some getting into again. So I've been doing that. I plan to probably start it tomorrow. But don't hold me to that. It may be Saturday before I get the first episode out. Also, that reminds me, later today, I will do War in the Pacific at 3 o'clock. I was supposed to do War in the Pacific yesterday, and I don't know, coming back from vacation and everything, I think I got days scrambled in my brain. If you were watching the Twitch stream yesterday, I honestly couldn't remember what day it was. And so I was supposed to do War in the Pacific yesterday. So I'm going to do that at 3 o'clock today and then follow immediately after at 4 p.m. Pacific with another War in the East. Yeah, okay. That's your programming guide, your old TV guide there for Strategy Gaming Dojo. Yeah, and then when War in the East 2 comes out, then I'll have four Grigsby campaigns going on at one time. I don't even know if I can keep up with all that. I can barely keep up with one. Uh, oh, Heather Everett. Yeah, you can play this game. It's not that complicated. It's as complicated as you want it to be. You could dive in and read over every stat on the support units and whatnot. But once you understand the basic tenets of command in this game, which I go by the basic rule. Well, I say I go by. The basic rules are 5 and 25. You got to keep divisions within 5 hexes and, not or, and 25 movement points away from their core headquarters. You got to keep core headquarters within 25 hexes and 100 movement points of the railhead. So once you kind of understand that, then you understand how to push support units down. You can play this game like any old hex encounter game, really. I do understand why those concepts seem complicated because they are more complicated than most games, that is for sure. But once you kind of got that gist of it, you could just move these counters around and blow stuff up. Okay, back, I think I keep avoiding what to do with this Panzer division, and I apologize for that. I'm going to move it right there. I'm going to double stack there. I'm not particularly happy, you know, I'm not beaming with pride with this setup, and I'm kind of leery what I'm doing with this headquarters because I don't want it to get, I've got three headquarters units right here. If he does blow me back, these guys are really exposed. And so now I'm kind of thinking, do I move this guy back here, stack with the headquarters? That also gives back up to here. I move this guy a little further to here, then I move these units. One of them can move north, or maybe even two, maybe all three could move north of the river. I think maybe that's what I'm going to do. Now, I've crossed the river here. I hate now to reverse it out, but I think that might be the safest route. But before we do that, let's move, um, actually, let's attack there and just move him back. Okay, fine. Get further into the pocket, my friend. Um, wow, we're getting so close around here. We could almost, I mean, he's going to have 17 movement points here. All he's got is a head. He can almost link up with these guys and form the complete pocket. I mean, it would be really close, but I wouldn't have any support here. They would be able to get out, I think, out the back door. So I'm just going to squeeze in here, hit him again. Maybe that'll route this time. No, okay, well, that's fine. And I think that's good enough with that unit. And then, this is a good problem to have, but it's so tempting to go link up with them. But I think sometimes, gentlemen, discretion is the better part of valor. I think I'm just going to put him right there. I He's a long ways away from the railhead now. Question how much fuel we have, but he still has 52% now, and I think I'm going to hold that fuel and we'll continue pushing. Now, let's make sure, okay, we're protected here. We're double stacked here. We've got an infantry unit there. So I do think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to back this unit up into the gap. I think I'm going to then take this unit and come here to hold that line. Now let's see if we can get these units up there far enough. That's the real question. We can. Okay. Um, so I'm going to bring this unit here. So we're just going to shift everything north. Everything north. Bring this unit here. And now we've got this nice pocket. I don't see any way they could break through this, at least to touch other Soviet hex and completely cut it off. There's just no way through that, movement point wise. Um, this unit, well, let's see, how far can he go? Now he can go straight forward. Do I do that or do I bring him north of the river? I think it's smarter to bring him north of the river. Let's bring him there. And we'll bring the headquarters up this way. Okay, we'll bring this headquarters up this way. We'll just keep trying to exploit this gap, whether it be Ninth Army, 4th Army, 2nd Panzer, you name it. Now then, let's bring these units a little further to the north. I want to make sure I have enough left to, make an attack into here. But we've also got our panzers down here that can do some of that. So I don't want to knock him back across the river. He wouldn't have anywhere to go, but I would prefer that didn't happen. How about that? All right. So this is 13th Corps. He's only got 2 units. Okay, actually that's perfect. No, that's not him. Where's his mate? There he is. Um, Let's put him right there for now. Now let's go get the 13th Corps. Uh, we'll actually put him here. Does that work? Does that get him closer to rail or further away? Here's our rail, which we still have to move, by the way, and we still have to deal with that partisan unit. We'll get to that in just a minute. For now, I'm going to put him there. We may move him across the river here in a minute, but I'm going to give him a few support units, and we're going to try to blow those guys out that are right in front of us. So we'll just do a mixed artillery. Wow, we got a lot of light flak here. Great. Let's give him a mixed flak. We'll give him one of the Jaegers just because I I don't know what's underneath there and if it's motorized of some sort. Okay, so we can do a deliberate attack here. Let's see what we get. We got great odds. I just don't want him to jump across. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. We'll take that. He's got no more movement points left, but that's fine. Um, can you do a? Yeah, you can do a deliberate attack. Let's try to knock him out or back at least, and then that will kind of clear a zone here. Okay. Um, Probably would have liked him to go back across the river, but I guess this makes him even easier to attack now. Okay. Barreled, hello! That's what I'm saying, Salty Dodger. Why is Gary Grigsby not, sending me a Christmas basket? Maybe he will this year. I don't know. Uh, I'll let you guys know if I get if I get one of those, what is it, Harry and David's gift baskets from Gary Grigsby. I don't think he needs my help. He's probably all right. How would you like to get that royalty check delivered every week? Um, all right. Now then, why don't we go ahead and try to knock this unit out? We can't, of course, do a deliberate attack. Oh, wow. We're getting great odds. Fourth Army's very strong. It's probably your strongest army, which is good because it's taking on the biggest target, really. Okay, we knocked him back across the river. So that looks good. That allows us to move up, one more. So this all worked out. This all worked out. I think we've got a nice, now one question I have actually is I guess some Soviet unit could get up in here and maybe cut him off, and maybe I'll just move him back one, you know. Gosh darn it, we use 6% of our fuel, but that's okay. I think I would rather just make sure with him. That one hex isn't going to matter. Look at that. Look at that. That's the prize. Do 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 do. Let's All right. So they're completely done. They're both in command. How far out of supply? I say out of supply. He's in supply, but he's 30 movement points away. He's not going to get his full complement of everything. He's showing 28. All right. All right. Let's go back and move this rail unit. Well, no, I don't want to do that yet until I know that this has been destroyed. So let's go back here before I move the rest of fourth, which I probably should do first. But it's bothering me too much that this unit is back here. Now, usually they just kind of disintegrate, partisan units do, but there's no guarantee of that. Now this unit, it's getting way, yeah, there we go. Okay, he's gone, and we'll get out here. Now we need to kind of maybe protect against that a little bit. I'm tempted to run one of these security units back, like this little one. Um, just to deal with issues like that. We could do it with this security unit, but then you're just playing ping pong, right? You're running out into the countryside to take care of a partisan unit. Then they spawn more in Minks because you don't have the garrison requirement. So you just got to be careful with that. Now he is right close to the railway, so he will pull supply off the railway. So let's go ahead and move these railroad units now. Right. Okay, let's go there. Get our rail a moving. Um, There we go. I think that's all he can do. Yeah, he can't get another one. Now this unit I think is going to have to back up to here and go ahead and get a full repair on that, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Now he can move up there and move there, and he's got one. No, he doesn't have one left. Okay. I think we came out with that, that's not proper English. The way we came out on that is that these units can only move 6 hexes, whether they're repairing, not repairing, how many movement points they have, or whatever. And that's why, even though he's got 3 left, he can't repair here because we had to move him back 3 hexes. Now we've moved him forward 3 hexes. I am 99% sure that's how that works. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Now then, all right, we've moved our rail. We've got all that getting repaired. Our rail's starting to catch up. I mean, you can see here, it's almost caught up with 3rd Panzer's headquarters. Let's make sure everything's on there. Oh, that reminds me, we need to move Guderian up. Um, how far away are these headquarters? They're 9 of 15. All right, so we can move them a little ways this way. Maybe here? I think he could go further, actually. How far are they away now? It's going to say what, 10 of 15? Okay. Now, how far are these guys out? Um, 15 of 15. That's not necessarily what you want to see. Let's move him a little further. Yeah, yeah, it's not great. Let's get the recon airbase up here as far as we can. All right. Then we can also move 4th Army up here, maybe like right there. Okay. Now then, let's start trying to blast through here and get into this. Um, I'm almost tempted to come blow this out, and then you can see all of the motorized units can move up this way. But I do have this infantry division here that's part of 2nd Panzer that I'm hoping can deal with that. As I'm almost tempted to do that first to see if we need these units to do it. All right, we could move these anyway, and maybe we do that first. Now you see if we shift them north, we get into them immediately here. That's an idea. We're getting into the more difficult decisions here. Okay, I think what I'll do is do this. Let's move this unit that has to cross the river and it's not going to have a whole lot left. Let's move him here. Let's put some support units in here. Gun, mixed artillery. We'll put one of these howitzers in there. We have a mixed flak. All right, that all looks good. Okay, now then, let's try to knock this cavalry unit out with just a hasty attack. He gets all support units here. They didn't add a whole lot. You see 1 and 2. Now that we know that rule, right? We did knock him back across the river, so that's okay. Now, let's go up here with this unit. Yeah, we're going to start capturing supply and fuel as we scatter these things. Supply and fuel, supply and fuel. Yeah, we're into them now. We're into them. Um, and as you see, we're also pressuring Smolensk. So this worked out really well. I'll be curious to see what they have here. We don't have any real information on them. I'm going to move him one further than I probably normally would because I was thinking maybe they were still soft units, but they're not. All right, how far can this bad boy run? Can he get up here? He can get across the river. All right, that's fine. Then we have one more down here. This is 7 core. Okay, so he's 7 core. Do I just come here or do I go up here? Great question, he asked. Could go up there, could go there, and even attack across, opening that up. Could come down here if I want to get really bold and try to take this unit out, completely surround this unit, but I think I'm going to do it with these guys. Um, let's just put him up there for now, and I guess we're going to have to bring this headquarters up here as well. That's fine. That's good. Means we're across the river. Let's just put it there, I guess. He's kind of out, far out. 28 movement points, not ideal. Um, but I mean, it's only because we're moving so fast. So I guess I could have worse complaints. Yes, Army Group Center is going to have to move up. H2880161. Um, yes, it is. I thank you for that, by the way. I do need to go back and make sure that I'm moving the Army groups up. Why don't we just do that while we're here? Where is Army Group Center? Where did I put him? Is he here? Oh no, that's the Luflot. Here is Army Groups. Oh shoot, he's all the way back in Warsaw. Yeah, we can move him up to Minsk. No reason not to. Um, Von Bach on the march. This will also help. He's got all these rail repairs out here, but he's got a huge. He can go up to 90 hexes. Um, no, I'm sorry, not him. He can go up to 45 hexes in his command. We are not 45 away from the border. I think Minks to the border is probably like 30. So he can have all of his construction units back here working, but it also gives him the option to start working up here as well. So that's good. That's good. So thank you for pointing that out. That's a smart thing to do for sure. Um, Speaking of which, where's Army Group North? We haven't I know I moved him up near the border somewhere, or I think he was there. No, no, there he is. Nope, that's the Luflot. Oh, I did put him in Riga. Okay, this is perfect. This is where you kind of want them to end up. Army Group North in Riga. Well, not really. I mean, I'd love for him to just march into Leningrad and say hello to everyone. Um, I doubt he's going to get a ticker tape parade if he does that. That's von Lieb. So we've got von Bach and von Lieb, good Prussians leading army groups. Von Lieb's not great, but he's got great generals underneath him, and I'd rather have them taking the first crack at the roles. So that's fine. A lot of times, I know that the what do I want to call it? The temptation is to put all of your best generals up at like Army Group South or Army Group Center, and you're like, well, that makes sense, right? I mean, that's kind of how the military should operate. Generally, you would think. In the real world, I guess, your best generals, I guess, rise to the top. Whether that's true or not, I think that's the theory. But in this game, I talked about this in the tutorials, but in this game, when the game does a dice roll, and it supposedly does hundreds for every turn, combat resolution, and everything, when it does a dice roll, it does it first on the core level, and that's a 1 to 10 dice roll. And so if you look at the stats of actually it's 1 to 9, I believe, or 0 to 9. I'll confirm. I can't remember if it's 1 to 10 or 0 to 9, but you get the idea. It's a chance of 10, x 10, right? Um, they compare that against your general stat at the core level. And so if you have a 9 or an 8 or a 7 general, you're passing almost every test at that level. If that general fails, it goes to the army level. So it goes up one, and they get it like a save roll, but that is based on 1 to 20. Okay, so if you have a general that's an 8, let's say, and I'm just going to say it's 0, or I'm going to say it's 1 to 10. I will find out for sure, but for what I'm talking about, it's not necessarily that important. Let's say it's 1 to 10, and you have an 8 general, so he passes any roll that's an 8 down to 1. Um, if he was at the army level, it would be a dice roll with a 20-sided die, and he only passes if it's 8 to 1. And so if you just do the laws of percentages, you do have a greater chance, every time you go up. Um, Overall, I guess you would say. But for that single roll at the Army level, you only would have like a 45% chance of passing. So really in this game, it's to your benefit to keep your very best generals at the core level. Even though that might be a little counterintuitive. I hope that made sense. I don't, I, it made sense to me, but that doesn't, I was the one explaining it, right? So yeah, of course it made sense to me. Um, 18th Army is just kind of floating out. Sorry, I decided to jump back over here for some reason. 18th Army is just kind of floating out here. How far away are these guys? They're only 8 of 15. Let's move him back to this rail line. I don't like him just kind of being out here. They're all still on side, so that's fine. Um, okay, back to the task at hand. Excuse me. All right, I think what we're going to do is attack here first and try to get rid of this unit. I think I'm going to try to bypass this armor, but I want to make sure, I guess I could surround him, right? To make sure he doesn't take a step back. Okay, let's move him first. Now we don't have him exactly completely surrounded, but I think we will now. There, right, or there, there. Okay, let's move that there. Now he is, he would be isolated. Now let's go put some stuff in 12 core. Where's 12 core? Here. Assign. Let's do a gun. Let's do a howitzer. Let's do a mixed flak. I'd rather keep. Oh, it's an LW unit. LW units, just remember, almost always they are not motorized, and so put them with infantry. If they're moving somewhere, I mean, you could put them in for an attack with your motorized, but if you're moving them or directly attaching, generally the Luftwaffe, I think that's what LW stands for, they're not motorized, so just keep that in mind. Um, Right. Okay. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna do a deliberate attack to really try to get him to surrender. I mean, those are just phenomenal odds, 30 to 1 almost. Let's just you son of a gun. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? Well, just to frustrate me, I'm sure. We do have this unit. Hmm. What happens if he can? Oh, he can come here. Is that what I want to do? I ask you as if you know. He could come there. Ay, ay, ay. Don't hurt my head. All right, we're going to move him there. He's going to form part of this. Uh, should I just hasty there? Do I have support units in this? I do not. Okay. All right. Well, we don't need too many more support units here, so we might as well just throw the kitchen sink at them. Um, sure. Let's put it all in there. And let's attack there. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if I'm doing this exactly the way I want to do it. You can see where the line is forming here. I think Second Army can get across. How far can he get? He can. Okay, so we can shift all of these north. That helps. Okay, so I'm going to do a deliberate attack here. I think he should surrender here. We'll see. Oh, you've got to be joking me. Okay, so I guess we hit them so hard that we knocked them literally over the Dnieper. So, all right. Um, hmm. Well, that presents an interesting dilemma. What do we have back here? I think I hate to spend points doing that, but let's hasty attack. Oh, I didn't even get. I barely got 1-to-1 odds there. Yeah. Okay. Um, this is the portion of the program that we have every day where I remember it is a kid-friendly show that we're running here. Um, that's a real kick in the butt, gents. I have got to get this guy across the river, so I can't be messing around too much here. Let's move this guy up. No, because now he would be attacking across the river. Um, maybe it's this guy that I move. Can I bring him? Let's bring him. Let's bring this guy down to Gomel. Does that make sense? I think it does. We're gonna bring these three north, and we'll bring this guy down to Gomel to hold Gomel. Okay. Um, then we'll bring this guy here. It's not ideal, but I think I'm gonna have to. All right. Now, does he have any support units? My gosh. I don't want to use all of the, well, I don't have a whole lot. Um, all right. Let's do a prepared attack there. Oh, I can't even do a prepared attack that way. Okay, let's just hit this unit and see what happens. Still not getting better than 1-to-1. Somehow I envisioned this attack going a little bit better. Now, this guy is completely isolated, so, question how effective he's going to be anyway. Okay, we can get across here into this swamp. Do we do that? And then we could also attack? Boy, I think, though, he's got to come here. If I don't want these guys to get loose down here. No. All right, he's part of Second Army. We do want to bring that south. We've got a really heavy armor unit here that's worrying me as well. Um, because they could just run up here, I guess. It hurt that we had to use this unit. I could really be using that unit right now. Second Army's getting really strung out here in like weird, bizarre fashion. Um, can he go any further? He can. Do I want him to? Probably not. Let's go across here and let's attack. Let's attack there. I mean, okay, he routed. That's good. We've got a strong armor unit there that I would like to bypass. We have our 2 and 2 that we like to get here, but I really wanted to bring him north. How far can I get him up here? I can get him there, but does that do me any good? Not really. Let's come back here. Let's hit there. All right, so he's gone. Can he move any further? Can he get across this little? Yeah, he can. Okay, that's good. Oh, good, good. All right, so then come here. This unit can come up here. We'll move. Nah, we don't need to move the headquarters. Can we do this with a hasty? Yeah, let's hit that with a hasty attack. Should knock him back. All right. Um, can we attack there? No, 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 no movement. All right, so this is all okay. I guess I could just put him. Can I put him in Mogilev? Is he still on? He's 5 and 5. What's his supply? 32 movement points. Not great to supply, but that's all right. We can continue then to move the ones that attach to the Panzers. We'll move him up here one more. Not a huge move. He could attack there, and we can maybe run him through here, but we've got Swamp. I'd like to get around behind these stronger units. but we may have to run them up this way. We'll just see. Let's go ahead and attack here, see what happens. Should knock him back. All right. Now then, how far can he go? Can he get up in here? Not really. And he leaves a gap. That's the problem. Can he? Maybe he backs up one. But then I think if I get up into all this, I can pretty much link up with the infantry. That's the idea anyway. Or he can come straight up this way, but that isn't as beneficial. All right, let's move. Let's get moving second here, and let's see how far up here I can get with this motorized unit. He's going to be way, way out of command and supply, but I want to scatter all these if I can. And we should capture a lot of stuff. I mean, we're just scattering airfields like crazy up here. Uh, Look at this. It's like a lawnmower coming through here. Just cutting the weeds. I think he can get all the way up here, or if not, I can get the next one all the way up here. We're just displacing airfield after airfield after airfield, and we're going to isolate all of these troops um, that that were so callous in stopping my strategy there. Um, Obstrat warfare. Hey, how's it going? That's good information, Rocket Soccer. Yes, that's the math, right? I think you're absolutely correct about that. Look at this. I don't know. I'm just I'm just going north. Let's hope he can get over back over here and connect with the infantry, or close to it. But I basically just the whole entire Soviet Air Force I've got I've got on the run. Now the question is, can I get back over kind of in this area? This is also going to help us come up here and cut off Smolensk. Holy smokes. Um, I don't know. When do I start cutting back west? I don't know. Let's just keep doing this. This is just kind of fun. So I think he's going to be isolated out here. But what do you do? Uh, I didn't. I don't think I had another better option. Okay, so now he's back here all by himself. Let's try to blast through here as much as we can. And maybe, oh, he can't almost make it. Oh my goodness. Look at this. He just ran behind the entire Soviet army group, took out their entire air force, or at least scattered them. Das Reich. Oh, it's those nasty SS guys, but still, wow, that was impressive, to say the least. Um, all right, how how far can I get him up here? And do I even want to? Oh shoot, he can only really get about to there. I don't think I'm going to have enough movement points to link up there. Gosh, that would be a travesty. I don't have anybody else that can get there. Holy smokes. I, I don't know if that was good, bad, or ugly. Probably all. He's going to be completely out of fuel next time. But that may have been worth it. I mean, that was just fun more than anything. He can't even go up here. He like stops right here. Why was that motorized unit? That motorized unit was just on fire. Um, yeah, I can't get to him. So he's sort of he's that's our first unit that I can remember getting isolated, but I don't really know what else to do. Oh, wait a minute. We've got another motorized down here that I was sort of forgetting about, but he can't get very far. He can only get there. Well, well done. I mean, they're going to get the Iron Cross for that. Um, it is what it is. I can only bring them up here so far. We're going to use them to go around Smolensk next time and completely cut it off. So we're bringing all of the motorized, and we're going to try to get them up here with their mates. Um, that is not 12th Corps. It's that group. There we go. All right. Um, Gosh darn it. I feel bad leaving them out there after they did all that work. They're not that far. It'll be one turn. They won't have any fuel. Maybe they'll get a little, but how many airplanes have been destroyed on the ground this turn? Yeah, I mean, I hope it should be quite a few, right? I mean, holy smokes. Um, Air losses. The current turn. Yeah, we're showing what about 400 more, a little more than 400, 419 destroyed this time. I would have hoped it would have been a little bit more. I mean, we scattered, I think, damn near every airbase they have in the center. But yeah, we're showing 419 anyway. By the way, we're up to 5597. That's why I say the air losses on the first turn, to me anyway, are completely overrated. You end up just smoking their air force. Um, All right, we have this one last group of Second Army. Now, because I left the infantry of Second Panzer behind, I'm actually going to move this guy down here because this armor sort of worries me. So I'm going to move him there. We're going to move the headquarters here. Yeah, that keeps them all on. We're going to move the Panzer headquarters. Everybody's on side there. Okay, that's fine. Um, I'm not saying that that was ideal or even what I was necessarily going for, but that all turned out pretty good. Now, they do still have an escape route to get supply, to get, they're not isolated because I could not get to this hex. I don't think there's any other way I can get there just to knock out this one hex that links them up with everything else. Now, they're probably going to all start either flowing back this way or try to get up here maybe. I don't know. But we'll be in good shape with these guys to try to get around Smolensk next time. Um, Really, I'll tell you what, that's what partisan units hurt. I think if I would have had this unit up here, I could have used it to take this out, used this to come here and maybe take some other stuff out and had just enough. But, that's speculative, as they say. All right, can I attack there? I don't think so. Can he do another attack? I just want him to go down guns blazing at this point. No, no, no. We've got to move some air bases at some point. That's the Luftflotte. We'll move air bases next time before we move down to the south. The south is going to be a lot of fun this time just because we've got a lot of work to do in the south. Do I have a security unit there? I do. Do I have a security unit in Vitebsk? I do. Okay. Not in Gomel. If we shift K, there we go. I could, do I con I thought I controlled Gomel. Or am I just out? This is Gomel. Oh, they took, okay. They're in Gomel. Got it. We don't need anything there. I don't think I can do any other attacks. It will not allow me to attack there. Too many. This is a swamp. He's totally isolated. We'll just blow him away like leaves in the wind next turn. But man, he caused us some problems this turn. Well done, Soviet unit. I think this all looks good. I don't really know what else we would do here. I mean, we have a lot of movement points, but I don't want to get this unit in the same situation we've got there in the south. They should link up next turn, and then we can really push on Moscow just to the north of Moscow with both 3rd Panzer, 2nd Panzer. We may even get all these guys surrounded. More likely, they'll start to try to retreat out of here, which I guess could cause 3rd Panzer some problems, right? As these troops are coming back up. Um, we should be able to get around Smolensk. As I preview, well, could I? I said there were no more attacks. Let's hit right there. That is a good attack. Now, we would be across the river here, but that's okay. It's just a 1 defense. Let's hit that and see what we can do. Knock it back. That's all right. Give us a little more breathing room. I don't like this armor unit, but I think they probably will try to counterattack against a full German division. I'm not that worried about it. Um, we've got reinforcements coming for the second. Remember all these guys back here. We also have the lone partisan cleaning unit. I think I may take. You guys remember this motorized here? He's pretty strong. If I get a motorized brigade, so this is a full division. I'm not going to use him for this, but if I get a motorized brigade, I thought we had, oh, maybe this cavalry unit. Cavalry brigade. Perfect. So this SS cavalry brigade, what I'm going to do is have it up here near Minsk, and it's got a lot of movement points, and we'll use that to clear partisans from now on. And so that's what I'll do with him. I'll just bring him up towards Minsk, and that'll be our partisan cleaning unit. Unfortunately, that's probably a little too close to history because that's an SS unit. So the T-34s, Opstrat, I don't think they're producing any. I don't know where they all are. We're just we're just blowing them away in the center. Now, I will say this down here did not go quite as well as it did up here a little further north. That being said, we're on turn 7. We could probably be to Moscow. If I really wanted to be and I wanted to take chances, we could be there next turn or turn 9. If you're there before turn 10, that's pretty good. A preview of the South. We'll deal with the Sixth Army approaching Kiev. Now you can see historically, this is actually. I don't want to say this is exactly what happened historically. I think the Germans would love to have my setup in the north and the center. But historically, this is somewhat what happened, right? the the units here were just getting to Kiev as Second Panzer blew by Smolensk, and this is about the point where Hitler decided to turn Guderian south, and you see how far they had to. Now they were a little further south than I am. I think that they came across. Maybe they did come across to Bryansk, didn't they? I think they were coming this way, but they had to turn all the way down here. Guderian came all the way down here to try to do an encirclement around Kiev because, much as I am right now, the Germans were behind schedule in the south. And, Hitler saw this massive pocket because historically the Soviets just pretty much retreated everything to Kiev, and there were just, I think 750,000 men in and around Kiev. And so he saw that pocket and wanted it. And ultimately, of course, you know what happened. Guderian couldn't turn north in time to get back to Moscow before the mud and the snow hit. But we will not make such mistakes, gentlemen, because I'm not a crazy psychotic narcissist. Anyway, well, let's hope. I'm not. I wouldn't tell you if I was. That's part of being that, right? Anyway, thank you guys so much. Always appreciate it. Great comments, as always. I always say I have the best subs in the business, and you guys are a big part of that. As a matter of fact, you're all of that, right? You are the subs. So thank you so much. Do appreciate it. I'm going to do 3 o'clock for War in the Pacific. So that's 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time for War in the Pacific. Try to catch up a little bit there. Then I'm going to do another War in the East directly after that at 4 o'clock. I know that's a little late for you guys in Europe. I do apologize for that. I'm just trying to get in as many as I can. And then I may even do another one tonight. I know I said that last night, and then all of a sudden I just kind of hit the couch and it didn't recover from that. So anyway, thank you guys so much. You're the best. Strategy